Hey guys, Tim here from Concise Tech. So I've got my Pixel 6 Pro here today. I've been an Android user my whole life, and this is actually my first iPhone that I've ever purchased. So I picked up this iPhone 13 Pro, and I wanted to unbox this today. I thought it would be a fun comparison to kind of have this Pixel 6 Pro nearby as I'm unboxing the iPhone 13 Pro. I'm someone that, I've bought Pixel devices in the past, and I'm part of Team Pixel, and they've sent out a lot of stuff recently to me for my review. But I wanted to try this out. I've got a MacBook now and I have an Apple Watch and stuff. So I'm kind of getting into the Apple ecosystem a bit, at least from a creator side. Nothing beats being able to just airdrop things over from your phone over to your MacBook. So this is the 512 gigabyte version of the iPhone 13 Pro. This is the silver, as you can see here. Looking up close at the camera module here, it's definitely a different thing that I'm used to. Usually the Pixel devices kind of had either pretty minimalistic cameras. This year now, the 6 Pro, they have this bar that goes across. So yeah, it's definitely different. I think even though that's like a big bar on the Pixel 6 Pro, it seems like, it's maybe a little bit less obtrusive than on the iPhone 13 Pro design here with, these, they really stick out, especially on the silver one. Those big black kind of dots for the camera module definitely stand out. So you can kind of see just what that looks like compared to, like, say, the Pixel 6 Pro. So you can see, you got the shiny Apple logo here on the back, and the camera module is a little bit more muted than the rest of the phone. It's kind of like a pearlescent type color on the back of this phone on the body of the iPhone 13 Pro. But yeah, it looks really nice. I'm really impressed with it. I went with this model because I liked how it looked, and I thought it was a very clean look compared to a lot of the other models that they had of this. And then comparing that to the Pixel 6 Pro, I'd say this looks like a nice phone. I like how it looks and everything, but it definitely doesn't look as premium as the iPhone 13 Pro, just from, first look here. So you can kind of see with this phone, it is an off-white basically, or more of like a pearlescent type color. So you can see that's the packaging that they had on the screen there. That's more of a true white. And you see how the phone then, when compared to that, is not exactly what I would call white. So this Pixel 6 Pro is about what I would expect to be the size of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So knowing that, I went with this iPhone 13 Pro because for me, it's a more ideal size. You can kind of see how these stack up next to each other here. I mean, the Pixel 6 Pro is bigger than the box that the iPhone 13 Pro comes in. So if you see here, like, I don't have the biggest hands. I'm not the biggest guy. I'm like 5'9". So you see using this and just trying to kind of touch across the screen and stuff, trying to use this one-handed is a bit of a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, I love having the big screen of the Pixel 6 Pro, but when it comes to functionality and stuff, and I was thinking about using this as a creator and, like, taking my photos and video and stuff and trying to put this on a tripod or trying to, use it in like a little phone clamp, it's just very hard to get the, bigger devices like in and out of those and that. So that's part of the reason too. With the weight also, I went with the iPhone 13 Pro versus the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And, like I mentioned, there's that shiny perimeter on the iPhone 13 Pro here. That's definitely going to pick up fingerprints and stuff if you don't have a case on this. As you kind of see, the back is less likely to do so. I mean, that's actually pretty good as far as, my testing here and not getting fingerprints all over it. So continuing with what's in the rest of the box, you basically get this, lightning to lightning cable. And then in here, it's pretty much just your SIM removal tool. And then you get a sticker here from Apple as well. So I know everyone always used to talk about, kind of the unboxing experience surrounding Apple products and that. But yeah, it's probably not what it was in the past and from kind of all the hype I've got in the past and everything. So pretty basic unboxing. If you struggle with those bigger phones and you're someone that likes a smaller phone, but you still want the best features from Apple like that, that iPhone 13 Pro is going to be the sweet spot because the iPhone 13 Pro Max is probably going to be too big for you. And if you want that extra camera though, and you want to get, all 3 cameras on that, I think the 13 Pro is going to be the way to go. To be honest, it just comes down to with the videos, and I'm a content creator, the video on the Pixel 6 Pro just doesn't stand up to the iPhone still. So they've been making progress, I think, in that department, and I definitely do notice like an increase coming from like the Pixel 5 and things like that. But as far as the video, iPhone is still the king. So when you're talking about low light especially and things like that, if you're a content creator, the iPhone not only has better video, but then the ability to get it off of the iPhone and just airdrop it onto a MacBook, I think is a game changer. It really does save a whole lot of time and stuff. If you're someone who hasn't had any experience with AirDrop and stuff like that. Coming over to that from Android was just such a huge change and like a revelation. I feel like the iPhone 13 Pro honestly might be even a little bit heavier, or at least it feels that way, than the Pixel 6 Pro. It kind of just seems like it's a little more dense. Maybe it's because it's the way it's distributed. But yeah, I'm glad. That makes me feel better about getting the iPhone 13 Pro and not the Pro Max. So I'm definitely going to keep this Pixel 6 Pro handy. I think in reality, I'll probably still use both these devices a bit and everything. I think especially for photos and things like that, I'll keep that Pixel 6 Pro around. It's got some pretty neat features with different, photo options and kind of tricks and stuff that it does, like the magic eraser. There's some other settings on there they introduced this year. But as far as video for now, I'm going to be trying out that iPhone 13 Pro, and my plans are to make it the shooter for my channels that I have. Basically, instead of doing a camera upgrade, I decided to try this out instead, and the iPhone 13 has some great video on there and stuff, so I'll be using that. So guys, I definitely will be making some comparisons with this though, and I definitely have some coverage coming out for the iPhone 13 Pro as well, with cases and accessories and camera testing, video testing, all that kind of stuff. So if that's stuff you want to see, definitely hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you found it helpful. Let me know down there in the comments if there's anything specifically you want to see. Like I said, I have basically Google's Premiere phone and I have Apple's Premiere phone. So if you want to see, any specific comparisons or anything that, you haven't seen other people touch on, let me know.